Welcome back to the channel. It's me here. And today we have a lot of science happening on board the International Space Station. A departing cargo craft and a new one on its way. From left to right, they are Flight Engineer Nicole Ayers, Flight Engineer Lexus Zubritsky, Flight Engineer Johnny Kim, Flight Engineer Ann McLean, Flight Engineer Kirill Peskov, and Flight Engineer Sergei. If you haven't heard yet, we welcomed the new members to the Expedition 73 crew last week. They are Soichi Noguchi and Andreas. Sadly, we had to say goodbye to cosmonaut Dmitry. As mentioned earlier, Flight Engineer Ann McLean assisted AX-4 crewmate Peggy Whitson as she gathered important data on visual perception and blood flow. Meanwhile, Flight Engineer Nicole Ayers helps AX-4 crewmates use a special microscope to study the effects of microgravity on tiny animals. These microscopic creatures are known for their ability to survive in extreme environments, including outer space. He also completed a 24-hour session wherein sensors that measured his heart activity and blood pressure. After a successful re-entry into Earth's atmosphere, Petelin landed safely with his crewmates Francisco Rubio and Sergei Prokopiev in Kazakhstan. We thank him for his contributions to the space station and wish him all the best in his future endeavors. His crewmate Zubritsky continued his work monitoring the health of the station's systems. Keep coming back for more updates from the space station and beyond. You can also find us on social media. You can follow us on X at Space Station Live. For all the latest news and behind-the-scenes action, our Instagram account, Space Station Live, has all the latest photos from around the station. And our TikTok account, Space Station Live, has short videos from the station as well. And finally, our website has the latest space station news, a schedule of upcoming events, and a whole lot more. Again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. It departed the station at 2:42 p.m. Eastern Time on September 5th, 2023. It will re-enter Earth's atmosphere for a fiery but safe demise above the South Pacific Ocean, completing a 7-month space delivery mission. Progress 90 arrived at the station on February 26, 2023. During its time at the orbiting lab, it delivered critical supplies such as fuel, water, and scientific experiments to the crew. The spacecraft also provided storage space for trash and other items that needed to be removed from the station. The re-entry of Progress 90 is a routine procedure that allows the spacecraft to be safely deorbited and disposed of in a controlled manner. As it descends through the atmosphere, it will be monitored by ground controllers to ensure that it does not pose any risk to people or property on the ground. Once the spacecraft has completely burned up in the process, the remaining debris will harmlessly fall into the designated ocean area. He even took a moment to enjoy the beautiful view of our planet as seen from the Poisk module. By studying them, scientists hope to learn more about the limits of life and the potential for human beings to explore beyond Earth. Additionally, NASA astronaut Laurel O'Hara assisted AX-4 crewmate Vichnievsky in an investigation that looks into the use of nanomaterials in wearable devices to monitor crew health. Nanomaterials are tiny particles that have unique properties that can be used to develop new technologies for medicine, energy, and other fields. Its replacement, Progress 92, is eagerly waiting at the launch pad at the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. Progress 92 is scheduled to lift off tomorrow, September 6, 2023, at 3:32 p.m. Eastern Time. Upon arrival at the orbital lab on September 9th, it will dock to Poisk at 5:27 p.m. It will be loaded with approximately 3,000 pounds of food, fuel, and supplies for the orbiting lab residents. NASA will provide live coverage of both the launch and the docking on NASA Gov Live and the NASA app, so be sure to tune in and watch these exciting events unfold. This experiment could lead to the development of new ways to monitor astronaut health in space and potentially help improve healthcare on Earth. Overall, the collaboration between the NASA space station crew and the AX-4 crew highlights the truly international and commercial partnerships that are advancing our understanding of the universe and pushing the boundaries of human exploration. He and the Soyuz MS-23 spacecraft departed the station last week, or Toru, which will be used on Saturday for the approach and rendezvous of the Progress 92 cargo craft. Located outside the Columbus module, this camera takes images every 30 seconds and shows the dynamic event of solar panels being struck by solar flares. We have chosen this location because it is directly exposed to the sun, making it the perfect spot to witness these stunning events. Every once in a while, we're lucky enough to capture a solar flare hitting the camera itself. Solar flares are massive bursts of radiation that occur on the sun and can cause major disruptions to important things like our telecommunications and power grids. That is why it is so important to have a good idea of when they will happen. Once training was complete, Zubritsky photographed the Progress 90 as it departed the station. Rizikov then set up hardware to capture hyperspectral imagery of landmarks in Mexico and South America. We wish you the very best in your future endeavors. Let's get going! We begin our story today with the 7 members of the expedition. 73 crew posing for this portrait inside the Zvezda service module. McLean assisted the private astronauts operating the research hardware throughout the orbital lab and guided their science activities. Aya set up a microscope in the Destiny laboratory module that AX-4 crew member Shubhanshu Shukla used to view how tiny aquatic animals survive numerous harsh climates, including microgravity. Not only can they withstand the vacuum of space and extreme temperatures, they can even survive 10 times the pressure found on Earth's seafloor. These little guys are truly amazing. But that's not all that's happening over at Destiny today. NASA flight engineer Johnny Kim started his shift assisting the commander by collecting blood samples, processing them in a centrifuge and stowing the specimens in a science freezer for preservation. Later, he reorganized hardware inside a Harmony Module S maintenance work area and installed ventilation system components inside the Quest Air. Now, let's talk science. Like we mentioned earlier, we have a lot of experiments happening today. First up, Station Commander Takuya Onishi conducted an experiment where he attached sensors to his neck and chest to measure how blood flows from the brain to the heart. Once all the data is gathered, doctors on the ground will review it to see how blood circulation adapts to weightlessness. Onishi was not alone in this endeavor. This investigation has been designed for the current expedition and previous ones. You might remember seeing Peggy Whitson and Tiba Kapu conducting this same experiment last month. Well, now she's back to assist her fellow crewmates in gathering more data. But there was another task that needed her attention first. She helped crewmate Tiba Kapu don a special cap with a built-in Doppler ultrasound to image blood flow in his cerebral artery while a cuff measured his blood pressure. Now doctors can use this data to help protect crew visual processing and perception in microgravity. While Whitson and Onishi were hard at work learning about cardiovascular dynamics, flight engineers Ann McLean and Nicole Ayers spent a portion of their shift assisting the AX-4 crew. NASA Space Station team members also took time out of their busy schedule to support the commercial crew aboard the orbiting laboratory today. And speaking of commercial partners, let's check in with Reskosmos. Flight engineers Sergei Rizikov and Alexei Zubritsky, who began their day training on the telerobotically operated rendezvous unit. Let's head over to the European Space Agency's Space Weather Live camera. Reskosmos flight engineer Kirill Peskov checked the laptop computer used for European robotic arm operations. Over at the Unity module, cosmonaut Dmitry Pedalin bid farewell to his crewmates on the station before undocking from the Soyuz MS-23 spacecraft. Speaking of departures, the uncrewed Progress 90 cargo craft also ended its stay at the orbital outpost today. But don't worry, we won't be saying goodbye to Progress for too long. That's it for today. Thanks so much for tuning in.